What's going on, traders? My name is Paul. Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're going to be talking about support and resistance, and we're going to show you not only how to identify these levels but how to trade off of these levels as well. The concept of support and resistance is something that we mention in virtually all of our videos, but it's been a long time since we've actually dedicated a video specifically to this topic. So we're going to share a lot of valuable information with you today, as well as our live trading footage, trading the binary markets just by identifying these levels, and how we were able to capitalize over $4,400 in profit without using any indicators. As a trader, it is important that you are able to log into a chart without any indicators and be able to understand what the markets are doing, what the overall bias is, and where price is reacting from. Only then will you be able to use various strategies and indicators to your advantage. If you enjoyed today's video, gain any value, hit the like button, like our video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to check out our trading resources down below in the video description, including our free and updated binary trading webinar, where we go over various secrets and elements that aren't really talked about in social media that will put you on the proper path towards your trading success. Information of our training group, where I teach beginners and struggling traders how to trade these markets successfully, so that way you can stop blowing accounts and empower you with the knowledge to use any strategy to your advantage. All of that and more can be accessed down below in the video description. But without further ado, let's get started with today's video. Now, as a friendly reminder, for those of you who have any questions or need help, feel free to comment down below. You can also reach me more directly, either via email or Telegram. You can access all my contact information down below in the video description. And for those of you, because I understand that we have a lot of new traders and aspiring traders who watch our videos, so I also want to just emphasize the importance of using demo accounts. Whenever you are practicing different strategies, different methods, indicators, whatever, always use demo accounts to your advantage, because they provide you with a risk-free environment to practice various methods without putting your money at risk. Now, as many of you know, we use Pocket Options for our binary option trading. It's one of the best brokers out there. They've been around for over 10 years. I've been using them for the better part of almost 5 years. Their platform is easy to use and navigate for trading the binary markets. They provide various features and functions for different indicators that you can adapt for various strategies that you might come across throughout your trading career. More importantly, they're available for many countries around the globe, and they provide free $50,000 demo accounts, which you could use anytime. So if you're looking for a reliable broker to trade the binary markets, or just want to use them for their free demo accounts, I'll leave the link to their platform down below in the video description, alongside with some helpful tutorial videos. If you're new to the Pocket Options platform, I made a simple and easy to follow tutorial which navigates all the features and functions, how to use everything that you will be using on a regular basis as a trader, as well as tutorials on how to withdraw your profits, which of course is equally important, right? When you make money in the markets, you want to make sure that you're able to make that money tangible and in your possession. So again, all that information can be found down below. Now, when we're talking about support and resistance is just another word for supply and demand, and vice versa. Some people call it supply and demand, other people call it resistance and support. Resistance is supply, support is demand. So whenever you hear someone saying either one of these terminologies, it's the same thing, right? You want to think of resistance as a ceiling and support as a floor. Whenever price hits a level of resistance, a lot of times you'll see price push back down. If price hits a level of support, a lot of times you'll see price push back up. Now, what's interesting about support and resistance is that they can play as both roles. In this example, price is ranging between a level of resistance and support. Now, this is a classic example of sideways consolidation or a ranging market, where there's no definitive trend. It's just moving in a sideways manner between a level of resistance and support. And we can see multiple touches that verify this resistance and multiple touches that verify this support. But I also created this depiction where we can see this upward movement until price hit this level and failed to break through this barrier multiple times. So at the time, this barrier could have first been classified as a level of resistance, right? It hit it multiple times, failed to break through it. So this was a level of resistance. It wasn't until finally price broke through that level of resistance, retested that zone, and failed to break below that level once again. So what was a level of resistance is now serving as a support, okay? And you're gonna see various examples of this happening from our live trading footage and throughout the charts for whatever assets you are trading. Here we entered for a 1 minute sell because we had multiple wick rejections at this level of resistance, but you'll notice this level of resistance also served as support here and here from the previous structure. We had an uptrend followed by a change in breakup structure where price retested a previous level of support, failure to break that level. So because of that, we entered for a 1 minute sell, which as you can see closed in profit. Next was a position for CHF JPY. Now at the time of this entry, we can see we had a bit of consolidation. Prices moving sideways between this level of resistance and support. This level of resistance also served as support in this region. And we also had a bearish engulfing candle, which is why we entered for a 1-minute sell. Unfortunately, price ended up shooting up a little bit further to pierce that level of resistance, resulting in our first loss. Next position for the same asset for CHF JPY, we can see that although price came up and pierced that higher level of resistance, it failed to close above it, creating these long wicks. So we entered for a 1-minute sell, and as you can see, price melted down, resulted in a profitable entry. Now here we have bullish structure, right? Price is creating higher highs and higher lows. There's a massive impulse move to the upside. When we look here, we can see that price reached this point and immediately pushed price back down. Now this sell entry was taken on the 1-minute time frame, but when we looked at the higher time frame, which we'll discuss more when we hop on the charts, this rejection area was a level of resistance from a higher time frame. So we waited for price to tap into that level, and as soon as it did, we entered for the trade, and as a result, this closed beautifully in profit for a sell. Now here we have a change of structure for Euro USD. Price broke through our previous level of resistance, now serving as support. So when price came back down to tap into that previous zone that was previous resistance, we entered for a buy position, which closed in profit. Next, we have Australian dollar, Canadian dollar in OTC. We have bullish structure. Price came down and tested a previous level of support. We have multiple wick rejections at that level of support, followed by a bullish engulfing candle. So we entered for a 2-minute entry, which as you can see, closed in profit. I decided to change things up a bit. Instead of looking at currency pairs, we're looking at American Express. You can see the overall structure of the market is bearish. We have lower highs and lower lows. Price is coming up and testing a new level of resistance that served as support here, here, and here. Because of the structure and failure to breach this level, we entered for a 1-minute sell. After a little bit of fluctuation, price came down, resulted in a profitable sell. Out of those trades, we only lost one, which was our first entry for CHF JPY. Did a total of 7 trades, losing only one, resulting in an 85% win rate and over $4,400 in profit. And this was all done without using any indicators, only looking for areas of support and resistance. One thing I forgot to mention, I purposely targeted different assets from different classes to show you the concepts of support and resistance are applicable in all markets. Doesn't matter if you're trading live markets, OTC, or stocks, identifying these levels in the markets, whatever market you're trading, is applicable and important. Now, as a binary trader, it's important to identify these zones not just in the timeframes that you're trading, but also in higher timeframes as well. In this example for Australian dollar, Japanese yen, we can see multiple areas of support and resistance. The more touches you have in certain zones, the better to classify that area as a form of support or resistance. Here we had multiple areas of support, 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 support. We had a bit of a fake out where price blew through that, but then eventually closed right back into that range until eventually breaking out and confirming that breakout of the support. What was support now served as resistance here, 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 before continuing downwards. Now, whenever you see spikes or peaks, whether they be a spike here or a spike here, especially if you're trading off of a lower time frame, most likely these peaks are points of rejections from higher time frames. If we were to highlight this zone, we'll make this a different color, and we're on the 1-minute time frame, but we go to, let's say, 15-minute time frame. Yep, there we go. We can see this wick rejection complemented this previous level of support. And we could also see from the 15-minute time frame, our areas of support and resistance that we identified from the 1-minute time frame are validated on the higher time frame as well. This previous level of support served as resistance here and here on a 15-minute time frame until eventually breaking out to the downside. Now, this is Australian dollar, Japanese yen on live markets. Let's look at a different asset on OTC. Let's look at Australian dollar, US dollar on OTC. Let's hop up to the 1-hour time frame. Based off of what current price is, we have a level of resistance here that was previous support in this area and in this area here. We had a big impulse move to the downside and then a retracement back to test what was a previous level of support to serve as resistance and push price back down. So if we were to highlight this rejection zone and came down to a lower time frame, we can see a better depiction of the price action complementing these areas that we identified from a higher time frame. From the 15-minute, we can see another zone. All right, let's just make this a different color. Let's make this one pink. Another zone based off of where current price is we have multiple touches here illustrated an area of support. And if we stretch this across, we can see it served as resistance here, here, and support here as well. So when we come down to a smaller time frame like the 5 minute or even the 1 minute, we have multiple sell trade opportunities every time price hit our resistance, multiple buy trade opportunities when price hit our support, and as price continues its downward movement, on the smaller 1 minute time frame, we can see an area of resistance here that served as resistance here, also served as support multiple times in this region. If you haven't seen it already, I also recommend that you watch our trend video so you can complement not only your levels of support and resistance, but also your trends, because trends, whether it be an uptrend or a downtrend, are diagonal forms of support and resistance, which I explain more in detail in that video. This is one of the many things that I teach in our trading course, alongside with multiple other aspects of the market, so that way you can apply these very concepts to whatever strategy you're using, and thereby allowing you to master any strategy or combination of indicators to your advantage. You can learn more about our training group by clicking the link down below in the video description or visiting our website anytime. And don't forget to watch our free binary option trading webinar, which is also accessible down below. But I hope this video served as a bit of an enlightenment to help you understand the importance of these concepts. This is how you can trade the binary markets without the use of any indicators, because indicators are used to complement whatever it is that you are seeing in the markets. You need to be able to understand what price is doing. Where is price reacting from? Is it acting from a support? Do you have other levels of confluences to support that potential buy entry? Great, take the trade. Vice versa, is price reacting off of a level of resistance? Do you have other levels of confluences to confirm that potential sell? Great, take that entry. And believe me folks, when you take the time to understand these concepts, it's going to greatly improve your overall trading. It might seem confusing at first, but the more time you spend on the charts, the easier it becomes to identify these levels. Practice on your charts, practice on a demo account, and believe me folks, over time it gets easier and easier. All right, traders, that concludes our video for today. Again, if you have any questions, reach out anytime. I want to thank each and every single one of you for taking the time to watch this video. Hope you enjoyed it, gained some value. And of course, if you want to check out some of our other recent uploads, you can check out any of these videos. And I look forward to seeing you on the next time. Take care.